Boom, boom, this is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so Azure got the update last night, and the long-awaited moment has arrived. We do have Richelieu. She is in the builds. So right there she is, super rare, Richelieu, the flagship of your French fleet. We also got several new additions. We got Azure, we got Vacalin, we got Jeanne d'Arc, so we've got those as well. So you want to try to get all of those, if at all possible. And we also, in the event, we've got, you can collect the iris, or the crest is what they're running out. That's what it's called. It's a crest. In the exchange shop, you'll see the crest of the orthodoxy. So we've got Jeanne d'Arc in there, and we've got a Baron in there as well. So those two ships are in there. And we've also got La Galicini. She's in here. She is also at 10,000. So you need to get 10,000 of the crests to get her. Right there she is. Right there. And then, you, of course, as normal, you can get multiple copies of her to limit break her if you, earn quite a few more crests. But those are the two main chapters. But and we do have the event. I'm not going to spoil the event for you because it's going to be an extremely interesting story. After all the ships, as you know, when the German, French surrendered to the German, some of the ships managed to escape, the French ships, and they escaped Toulon, and then they sunk. They were all sunk in Toulon. To prevent to being used by the German, and they didn't want to be used by the British either, so they just sank. So this is continuing, from Malazar up until and this is what happened after Toulon. So yeah, so it's going to be a very interesting story if you've been following the whole thing, and it's called Skybound Oratorio is what it's called. So it's going to be pretty, it's going to be pretty good. But Richelieu is finally up, so you definitely want to throw, as many wisdom cubes as you can to get her, because if you want to have a French fleet, you need her. The buff she offers your ships, French ships, Iris Orthodoxy ships, or Vichy Dominion ships is just, amazing. So it should make a fleet viable, but you'll need her to do it. So she's in the build, so get whatever wisdom cubes you can, and then I'll have a little bit of the video a little bit later, after I've played it for and got some of the ships, and we'll go over some of the skill sets in those. But it is up today. It just came up I think it's about an hour and a half ago. I checked it about 2 hours ago, and it wasn't, and I just checked it again, and it seems to be up and running fine. So the update took a little bit longer than normal. So that's what we got in the event. Skybound Oratorio. So we've got, you want to collect the crest to get Jeanne d'Arc, and collect the crest to get La Galicini rare, and then of course purchase the others in the actual shop. They've got a merchant shop up. I'll show you here. Okay, right here. So so got a couple of good guns in here. This Twin 203 is pretty nice. And then of course you got your blueprints. Everything that's normal. So there's anything unusual about that except for the two ships. You get it. If you want to get a skin, and then the two guns. So you definitely want to take a look at those. Now, as for the actual, the mission event that occurs. To get the PT points, you have to do what you normally do to get the chat frame, and that's fully limit break Richelieu, Azure, Jeanne d'Arc, La Galicini, Vacalin, and Burn. Okay. Now, to get the rest of the PT points, you need to fully limit break the ships that you were using at 20% in the previous event, the first part 1. Those 4 ships, you need to have them fully limit broke, and then complete. For instance, once you fully limit broke Jean Bart, use her on B3 or D3 10 times. Make sure she's in your fleet, and you get these points. Okay, So, that's a lot of limit breaking. That's a lot of mats. It's a lot of boolins. Um, so, but if you want the chat screen, that's what you're going to have to do. Okay. So, that's, you know, uh, you're going to have to do most of these to get the 3,000 that you need for the actual chat screen. You won't have to do all of them, but you'll have to do pretty much all but one, I believe. Okay. And that is also uh, in the Skybound Prelude right here. So you get 3,000 points and you get the chat frame, the Iris Canto frame, and this is used when you're in chat. Okay, so that's what you're going for. So you know, if you want the 3,000 to get the frame, you got to do earn the training points, and they are in the mission. So they are here in your mission tab. As you complete those, you'll get the points, and you'll need 3,000 of them to get the frame. Okay, so yeah, the event is up, and Richelieu is here. As I originally thought she was going to be appearing in the first phase, but she didn't. She had to do the second phase. Okay, and they've also got a bunch of new outfits up. I mean, Richelieu, this is awesome, awesome skin for her. And it's pretty pricey, as you can see. It'll go down briefly, but it also changes the you got a nice 2D background for her, so that's new. We've got so these are all of the new fresh ships, Jean Bart. You've got and you've got the different um, ships and their skins. That's a pretty good skin. I was enjoying. I like that the way that the light shines off there. That's pretty good. So as you can see, definitely some of them a little bit on the risky level, as is normal. But yeah, that's some good stuff. So that is open in the shop as well now too. So if you're looking for that as well, um, you should notice a couple of things in your mailbox from the compensation. You should have 2,500 gold with 3,000 oil, and you should have some sodas on that. So look for those as well. The star is still up. There comes the future star. If you want to if you want to do Sandy's retrofit, and I suggest you do. This is she is one of the most powerful ships in the game. Once you complete this retrofit, she just becomes a goddess. Anti-air is just ridiculous. So she's one of the best ships for that, and that makes her one of the best ships in the game because um, you know control of the skies is so important, especially in some of the upper levels. I think it's either I think it's either 11 or 12. I can't remember which, but you're really going to need she shines in those levels because you have not you don't have air domination. Air superiority is not obtained in those in that level, so that you need something with a lot of anti-air, which is one of the reasons that I've got my secondary fleet. This fleet was built specifically on what you're going to encounter in those levels, because I'm finishing up 10 right now. As you can see, I've got a few more to get into 10, but the fleet that I'm using to run that, and I'm having great success, is past it. This fleet right here. I've got Sandy. She's retrofitted. I've got Bremerton, and she's got excellent anti-air capability as well. And I've got Nashiro as the tank, and then I've got Saratoga, Monarch, and Centaur in the back on the back line. And this is really not having much trouble going through that level. And that's 10 is really not what they're designed for. It's designed for these 11, 12, and 13 when air superiority and air domination is not achieved. So so we're gonna see about that, and we'll see how well it does. But as you can see, I have my A is 23, 2310. That's just so that should be more than enough to make me survive in that, because believe me, I mean, you can just get taken down so fast. I mean, if you've watched Enterprise Unleash or Lucky E, on enemy ships, you can realize how fast the Vanguard can get completely annihilated. So, and you could imagine with ships roughly not nearly as strong as Enterprise, but nearly as strong as the Enterprise, because when you're getting in 12, 11, 12, and 13, you're talking level 90, almost level 100 ships. So, they're just going to be, they're going to be wailing on you and you got to have anti-air to survive it. So it's very important that you have excellent anti-air, max anti-air for those levels. And Sandy will go a long way to getting you that domination that you need. So yeah, look at that. So that's what you need. A plus 123 to anti-air is just ridiculous. So yeah, and I've even got more on there. So I'm fully, this should be able to get through the higher levels, this fleet. And I'm combining it with my HMS fleet, which I did some slight modifications. As you know, my HMS fleet is a PvP rated fleet. But what I normally do is I just put Enterprise in the back line. I usually take out Hood and throw in Enterprise just for some more damage. They've haven't had any trouble surviving with that as either. So both of my fleets, they have about 13,000 on the Vanguard, and similar on the back line. So you got to have everything maxed. Make sure that your skills are maxed at 10. Your equipment is maxed at 10. So make sure everything is maxed. Gold equipment. Use the gun that has the highest efficiency rating. If you look at the gear, you'll see a percentage here. You want to put the weapon that gives you the highest efficiency rating, because that's what you're gonna set. So that's what you want to go for, because that's what you need. Damage is the most important thing. Surviving is there, but if you can take down, firepower is important. Taking down the ships, because that's what you need to do. The best way to win through in this game is to just overpower. So the more firepower you can throw, the better. Okay, so that's what you want to look out. So the event is up. So Richelieu is on, and she's in the build. So if you want her, go for her. Let's see what else in the light. We've still got Terrier in there. She's one of the ones that ships that you need for the fully limit break. Washington, Duke of York, and then we've got a special with Enterprise Victorious and Akagi-chan. That is not the Akagi that you get on 3-4. This is her before Akagi and Akagi were carriers. They were battleships, or I think they were battleships. Yeah, I think they were battleships, and they were transformed into carriers when it became apparent that carriers with their with planes was going to be that was the way to win the wars. So they were modified from ships to carriers. So this is what they were before they became carriers. Okay, so yeah, it's a Kaga and a Akagi. So they do have two. Don't confuse those with the actual carriers. That when combined with Nagato make one of the best back fleets of the game. Okay, so also the actual event is the same as before. Remember to as you go through A, B, C, and D. Remember that each day they reset to a +3 or a +2. Okay. So even though you run A1 one day, maybe like today I'll get through A1, A2, and A3. Well, I might not be able to, because I'm not sure. Well, I'll probably just be able to get A. I don't think B doesn't look like B is going to become active for another 24 hours. So it won't be active until tomorrow. But tomorrow these will reset, and you could run them again, and you'll get, you'll see a +3 or a +2. It should be a +3 for all of the events in the A. So you want to try to run them daily. Just to get the the +3, because that's more crests, and because you need to get you're going to need at least 12,000 just for Jean d'Arc and Burn, and then you might want to try to get all these guns. You need 15 of these blueprints to make one of these guns. So just buying one of these is not going to get you the gun. You got to buy all 15, and then the 15 These are just blueprints. So then you combine the 15 blueprints and you'll be able to get the gun. Okay, so you need all 15 of these of each of these if you want to get the gun. And then of course if you want to get any of the blueprints, definitely want to try to get all the blueprints if you got a priority ship. I'm still working on Monarch. She's about finished. These should be enough. 30 should be enough to finish her. So at the end of this event, I'm hoping to have her fully limit broke. I'm also starting to run a little bit low on my actual, the parts, simply because, when you get to level to take an item to level 10, it takes it takes it takes the max level epic parts here, the purple parts, and you don't get a lot of them generally. I do my dailies every day, all of my dailies every day. So I did just enough, to get, as you can see, I've been focusing a lot on my gear, trying to get it, as much as I can at 10. So, see, I've got a lot of 10s, but I've still got some that I just can't get, to get high up. I've got 8s and 9s, that's not on one of my main ships, so it's only 7. But as you can see, so there's some stuff that that I need to work on getting up, and it's mainly main guns. I've started to run out of main gun stuff, so it takes a lot of the parts, and you just don't get a whole bunch of them from your dailies. So always purchasing them in the mission is an excellent way to go. Okay, so yeah, it's up. Skybound Oratorio, and Richelieu is in the build, and depending on how far you want to go with the event, if you want to get that chat screen, you got to get 3,000 PT points to actually do it, and that means you're going to have to do pretty much every single one. The way it's been in the past is you could get by with missing one, and that was it. So that's a lot of ships you're going to have to limit break. And it's a lot of bullets. So unfortunately, I'm going to. I don't know. Once I see how, I'm probably not going to go for the chat frame. I'll make a determination after I see some of the ship stats. But I was really going to focus on my IGN fleet next. But I need to get Nagato for that, which I haven't managed to get my hands on yet. But she is, I believe, in 10. I believe she can be built in 10 at one of the levels. I'll have to find out which one. Since I'll be finishing up 10 shortly. Probably won't be focusing on it right now. I got the event, and I want to get as many of the crests as I can, so I can purchase all the stuff that I need from the shop. Which is why I was holding on to all this oil. Yeah, I had 1,000 there, and it's 4,500 here. I was holding on that oil specifically for this event. Because I was going to be running those screens. I've got 2 fleets, which can probably get me. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the EX level, but I'll definitely get D3. I managed to get D3 on the last event, so I'm hoping to get it on this one as well. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it's going to be a good story. So definitely want to get in there and complete the event as far as you can, so you can get the whole story. Okay. So Richelieu's up. It's game time. Put on that game face and hop in there. And don't forget San Diego. If you want to retrofit her, you got to get that mic. Okay? So go ahead and put a like on the video if you like it. Go ahead and click on the subscribe button and click on the bell ding ding if you want to be notified whenever I drop a video. This is Ken Rear, back in the corner, signing out.